Disclaimer. Hello, my name is Will, or Enigma, and today I'm going to be talking to myself about my autistic hobbies and interests, for a unknown amount of time. This video is completely unscripted. I'm mainly doing this because I'm bored. This is not ASMR really. I'm kind of just yapping and shit. I'm gonna be putting stuff on the screen, but I don't know, just listen to it or whatever. So, first off, we start at Destiny. Now I was too young, really, to get into the whole Halo craze at its peak. I think around the time, let me see, yeah, when I became like a sentient human being. You know how like toddlers are technically humans, but not really. Like they're just these weird fucking things that go around and shit. And then suddenly you gain consciousness at the age of 4. It's also always the age of, speaking of Halo 4, it's always the age of 4 that you gain consciousness for some reason. Like, I don't know why, but specifically at the age of 4, that's the fucking running joke. Everyone gains consciousness. I remember my earliest memory was my 4th birthday. I had a dinosaur cake, and it was green, and it had purple spikes on its back and orange hair, I think. Or like weird orange, like, spikes on the top of it. I might have gotten the colors mixed up. Your brain can also make up memories, so I don't know. Anyways, Halo 4 was released in 2012, so I wasn't really, that was around the time I became, like, sentient and shit. And then Halo 5 came out, like, what, 2015? Yeah. So I was kind of a little too late for the PM. So Destiny came out. I was like, okay, this is cool. Wow, I love Destiny. Wow, little wee lad Willie was like, oh yes, I love Destiny. It is so fun. And I thought it was cool and fun, and I loved it. I picked Hunter because fucking everyone did. Be honest. Don't hate on people for playing Hunter. I know it. Don't worry. So in D1 I was a Hunter main, which actually ended up being a really good thing down the line, because when I went back to D1 to play it solo, Hunter is really good for soloing stuff because I could go invis, right? Because Void Hunter is like the best one. Solar Hunter is fun. If you were a Blade Dancer, you were shunned. Blade Dancers may rot in hell. Fuck that. When I came to D2, I was a Warlock main, and I'm honestly more happy with that because Warlock is way more fun, and there's also the movement of like gear stashing and wall skating and yada yada. In pertaining to D1, wasn't great on launch. I think by the end of its lifespan, it's a very, very good game. Destiny the Collection, like Destiny 1 the Collection, where you get all of the games, it is a really, really good deal. You are getting a lot of content and a lot of fun, and it's nice. And I mean, if you enjoy Halo, if you enjoy Borderlands, boom, like, yep, boom, cool, together, hell yeah. It's fun. I liked it, me personally. I enjoyed it a lot. Speaking of which, going on another side tangent, Borderlands is wildly overrated. I'm sorry, it needs to be fucking said. My dad was a massive Borderlands guy, right? So as a kid, I was like, oh yes, I want to play Borderlands. Oh yes, but my mom was like, no, it's got like gore and swearing in it or whatever. And I think it does, which probably was like a good thing. I still like swear like a sailor, apparently, according to my friend's mom or his grandma. I actually don't remember. So I don't fully I don't know what. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, point is, I wanted to play Borderlands, and then I got to play it, and I was like, this is kind of whatever. So I came back to it, and I realized, yeah, no, this is massively overhyped. Borderlands 3, horrible writing. Gameplay is pretty good though. I like the gameplay of Borderlands 3 and the like unique weapons. Those are neat and fun. Moze is the best character they made. Titanfall Lamau. That is another interest I would be talking about. But I mean, there's not really much to be said about Titanfall that hasn't already been said. Also, I haven't checked it in a minute, so my memory isn't exactly that fresh. Anyways, when it comes to Borderlands 1 is not a good game. I'm sorry, I don't think it holds up that well. I find it incredibly boring. I don't find it interesting whatsoever. Maybe I need to revisit it again. I'm not gonna completely tear it down. This was still when the writing was pretty alright. It's whatever, you know, it was good for its time. Borderlands 2 is good. I'm not going to argue with that. Borderlands 2 is very good. I have no idea about the pre-sequel. No one seems to care about the pre-sequel, really. It's very, very brushed over when it comes to, like, coverage. I don't even remember the characters. I remember there was the Shield lady, and you could play as Handsome Jack, I think, yeah. You could play as the fake Handsome Jack, yeah, that was his name. I swear you could play as Claptrap as well. I think that's what you could do. And then there was like another lady, and I forgot her name. I genuinely forgot. Who cares? And on the topic of Borderlands, I remember, okay, so I didn't put Overwatch on this list because I have like semi-fond memories of Overwatch, like, you know, back in the day, 2016 shit, not like Overwatch 2, fuck that. Battleborn had a lot of promise, I feel like. Battleborn looked cool and seemed cool, and I liked the characters in it, and I liked how you unlocked them from the campaign, and I liked how there was a PvE mode, right? It was Overwatch with a PvE like game mode. It was cool, right? No, because they dropped it like a month or a week or whatever before Overwatch, and then no one played Battleborn, and then it died out, which is a damn shame because once again, it was literally just Overwatch with a campaign. Like I don't know what people like want. I did genuinely, it was there. Like Battleborn should have done better. But anyways, going back to the topic of Borderlands and Destiny. Anyways, actually no, that's it for Borderlands. I'm done. When it comes to Destiny itself, I find Destiny to be enjoyable. I think the gameplay itself, when we're talking about like gunplay, the gunplay in Destiny is good, right? Like Bungie nailed down Halo and like shooting and shit, right? Both Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, there are tons of fun weapons where you're just like, yippee, this is enjoyable. Fucking, you know, there's the clean stuff like Dead Man's Tale, Ace of Spades, that type of stuff, yada yada. There's the funny, silly weapons. Like, what's a funny, silly one? Tractor Cannon's fun and nice. I like it. I love the Fourth Horseman, Touch of Malice, I like that shit. There's just a lot of cool stuff in Destiny, right? It's a very cool and interesting world. There are a lot of likable characters. Cade is obviously the fan favorite. I liked Varix a lot. I'm a big sucker for the Fallen, right? The Fallen are my favorite. I love them. They're awesome. I love Varix. Varix is awesome. I'm kind of sad he got relegated to being a Europa vendor. I was holding out hope for a Season of the Elders, thinking that would actually happen. You know, that's how fucking, like, blind I was, but whatever. That was good. House of Wolves wasn't that bad. I don't think... I think I got a little too much hit. I think that and also the Dark Below. The thing is about Dark Below is it really was not any content at all besides just Crota as a raid. Obviously there was a lot of exotics, but the main big content was Crota, and Crota wasn't even that interesting or crazy of a raid. Vault of Glass was definitely better, because like D1 Crota is just like D1 Crota is atrocious. Then comes around Taken King. I think, in my personal opinion, Taken King is extremely overrated as well. I think it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the good that Taken King did. The Taken King did amazing numbers for the game. Like Destiny 1 got helped out a lot by the Taken King. The thing is, I'm talking about specifically when it comes to it being overrated. I think King's Fall specifically is overrated in D1. D1 King's Fall is like stand on shit and wait the raid, because it's like fucking first encounter. I'm not even going over like the jumping ship parts with like no mantling. That was kind of annoying at first, but then it gets easier. I'm just very annoyed at that part because every single time I do it with LFG, they always die in D1. Anyways, the first encounter is just like boring hot potato. Second encounter with War Priest is like, it's once again play 2. Golgoroth is cool. I'm not gonna hate on Golgoroth. I like him. It's very easy to just body him instantly in the non-390 mode. But anyways, and then when it comes to sisters or daughter, no, it's daughters, right? Yeah, daughters. That is also just like sit around Lamau. But it's more interesting with like the parkour and shit. D1 Orcs is such a boring fight. I'm sorry. It's cool, it's fun, like with like all the tension. Ooh, but like actually Orcs himself is just okay, how do we do damage to him? Mechanics. Ooh. And then how do we what do we do to like what does shooting at him do? It stuns him. It's like, okay. I don't know, it's kind of boring. It's just like, yeah, no point in running a fucking DPS weapon, like, at all, really. Like, no, literally just run, like, I don't know, Thunderlord and then a legendary sniper, you'll be fine. Or just run, like, an ad clear weapon. You can run an ad clear primary, to be fair. This is, like, in D1, primaries felt like they hit way harder. But, my point is, like, you didn't have to run, like, Gallahorn, or, obviously, you wouldn't really be running Gallahorn on, like, a precision boss. But the point is, you could just run a sniper, like a normal ass sniper, and then like an ad clear weapon, and it's like boom, you're good. I might be talking out of my ass because once again, it's been a while since I've done D1 King's Fall, but I'm just talking from memory. You know, I'm just yapping right now. Let a man speak. And then when it comes to Rise of Iron, apparently I literally just heard this from like one singular Sweatskill video, and then I never fact checked it. Apparently, Rise of Iron was a last-minute DLC, which blows my mind because how the hell is what is like the 5th best DLC in the series or whatever, like 4th best, 6th best, I don't even know. I think 5th best is probably fair because it goes like the general top ones are like Taken King, Forsaken, Witch Queen, Final Shape. Final Shape is definitely up there. Okay, yeah, I'd say Rise of Iron is like 5th best. I'm confident in that. Yeah, Rise of Iron is like 5th best. I'd say that's fair. And Rise of Iron was extremely good. Siva was great. Everyone's been nonstop asking for it back. Bungie likes to fucking tease people 24/7 and be like, ooh, Siva, like with like an ornament or something. But we're not gonna get it back. We were never gonna get it back. It happened in D1. It stayed in D1. I don't know if we're getting Wrath of the Machine back in Destiny 2 at some point. Having the original 3 D1 raids in the game, but then not Wrath of the Machine feels a little weird. But also Destiny 2 is dying and dead, and who cares? I moved on to something else. That's kind of it for D1 with Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron was just great. That was good. D2 launch was bad. D2 launch was not good at all. I don't want any excuses. I played the campaign with my dad. That was fun. That was a good like gaming memory when I was younger because me and my dad didn't do an insane amount of stuff. We didn't play an insane amount of games together. Actually, we did play a good amount. We played Burnout Paradise City. That was fun. We did play Overwatch 1 on launch. I have a fond memory of before they added like limits on heroes. Me and him and 4 other randoms did full Torbjorn on Defense Hanamura, and people were complaining in the chat, and me and my dad were just laughing. It was very nice. But anyways, D2 launch was not great. Curse of Osiris is probably the biggest joke of a DLC I've ever seen. The dev live stream was embarrassing. It must have felt great to be a Warframe fan at the time. Spoilers. And then Warmind comes around. Warmind wasn't that bad. It was alright. It was like 6 out of 10. It was pretty good. Like once again, it's still D2 year 1. It's gonna be ass, you know. It's not gonna be that great. Forsaken comes around, has another Taken King moment where it's like, oh my god, the game is saved, blah blah blah. Like, and I think I remember hearing a very good point. Bungie is at their best when they're backed up into a corner, which is a really shitty game strategy thing. But I mean, they're not entirely wrong because it's like, oh, D1 year 1, boom, Taken King. Oh, D2 year 1, Forsaken. Beyond Light, Witch Queen, Lightfall, Final Shape. You see, they make one dog shit and then they make a banger, and it's like, why can you guys just not continuously make bangers? Like, just keep on doing good. It's kind of stupid and annoying, but it's like whatever, who cares? And then after Forsaken was Shadowkeep. I don't know what the hell was happening with Shadowkeep. I don't know why the moon was brought back for a DLC. That's really stupid. I get they were like splitting off from Activision and they were doing the whole like free content thing and like the season pass. Ooh, and then like they were coming to Stadia. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, that was cool. I just don't know what was going through their heads to like make a DLC based on a D1 location. It was weird. Like, don't get me wrong, we had like the EDZ in D2 year 1. Oh, that's a separate thing since they always wanted to do the EDZ. And it was like teased back in D1 as well. But it's like, okay, as an example, D2, it did Mercury. And although we had Mercury in D1, now it was its own planet. Granted, Mercury sucked. I think a better example is D2 Mars. Yeah, it's the same planet. Completely different area. Meeting Rasputin and stuff, it's way more different. It's like, okay, yeah. The D2 moon is just the D1 moon with like one extra area, and it's the Scarlet Keep area. Now, obviously, they started doing more stuff like dungeons and stuff, and Garden of Salvation is Garden of Salvation. It is what it is. Also, one of the strikes they made for Shadowkeep got deleted like a year later. That was funny because it got put on IO. So good going, guys. And then after Shadowkeep, once again, Shadowkeep was kind of after Shadowkeep was Beyond Light. And the thing is about Beyond Light is that was the real big, like, hammer on the nail point for a lot of people. I got back into Destiny. The way it worked with Destiny 2 is I played during launch. all the way to the end of Warmind, got disappointed, left before Forsaken. That's kind of funny. And then I came back at the end of Shadowkeep. I came back at the end of Season of the Worthy, and right at the start of Season of Arrivals. I genuinely believe the best time to play Destiny 2 was during the time of Season of Arrivals, because that was like the last point when all the old content was still in the game before it got sunset, and that was a wild amount of free content. They are idiots for like not just going ahead and making a D3. And think about Destiny 1, right? It goes from Destiny 1 to Rise of Iron, boom. You have all this content, you have all this shit to do, it's nice and contained, cool. Destiny 2 could have been the same, you know? It's like you had everything from Red War to the end of Shadowkeep. That's a lot of content, right? That's the same around the same amount of content as D1, because it's like, you know, base game and then 2 mini expansions and then 2 bigger expansions, with the third expansion, you know, Taken King and Forsaken, being a little bigger than the fourth. But the fourth one is still pretty alright. We don't count, or this counts for Rise of Iron specifically. Once again, Shadowkeep wasn't that great, I don't know. But then they moved on with Beyond Light and made the horrible and worst decision in the world to sunset things and vault content. And then they immediately went back on sunsetting. Unfortunately, Season of the Dawn weapons were captured and like killed off to womp womp. They got reissued though, because, you know, yeah, the woohoo reissuing, hell yeah. And then they also went back on like content vaulting later on in, I think, Witch Queen or Lightfall, whatever it was. And now that all the Bungie layoffs are happening, there's rumors that they are going to have to like start doing like content vaulting again. I don't know what is wrong with Destiny 2. It has a lot of issues and it runs so poorly. And it's just like, every single time they make an update or a change to the game, something breaks or they don't change things properly. It just baffles me how garbage the D2 like quality assurance is. It's really annoying. It's such a pain. What else then? What was after Beyond Light? Beyond Light was cool with Stasis. Subclass 3.0 was the best idea they had. The Year of Witch Queen was really good because they did all the Light 3.0 stuff. And although, yeah, it was the same subclasses, it was like, okay, we got to see them in a new way, right? Warlocks got to use trip mine nades. That was funny. Everyone got healing nades. Cool changes like ignitions and scorch and radiant, yada yada. That's all cool. Void was neat. Arc was good. We got a new super with Arc. That's cool. We got a lot of new melees. We got some... I didn't get any new grenades, but we got some new melees. That was cool. We got the new aspects. Those were really neat. Yeah. And then after Beyond Light was Witch Queen. That's when, once again, Bungie, like, they got their backs to the wall moment. They make Witch Queen, and that was really good. Legendary campaign was a great idea. Savathun is, when I was talking about likable characters as well, you know, Cade and how I like Varix and stuff, Savathun is perhaps the actual best character in the series. I'm just gonna be real. I love a villain with a personality, right? Like, I'm alright with as well with like meathead dumb idiots that just want to blow up the world and don't care. Like, they're also fun. But for example, Callus. I liked Callus. He was this like silly, goofy rich man who had to run around in his Mario Kart ring on his like spaceships that ate planets. And I don't know, I liked him. He was funny. He was flamboyant. He was like silly. And then Savathun comes along, and she is this conniving, smartass, like evil bitch, but I mean, she rocks it, you know. Like, Savathun is fucking awesome. I don't think I know a single person who dislikes Savathun. Savathun is great. Especially her voice actress. She did an amazing job. And then after we had a banger, we have to go back to garbage, and then Lightfall happened. Lightfall was real dog shit. Lightfall was just horrible. I don't want to make any defenses for Lightfall. Lightfall was bad. Lightfall was really bad. We didn't get a lot of weapons shown in like key art. They had to make the hand cannon because it's dead center in the middle of the promotional art. But we didn't get any of the art from, or we didn't get any of the weapons from, like, you know, the Legend campaign key art, or I think it's like the normal campaign. I don't remember fully. But point is, we didn't get what we should have Bleh, it was annoying. I even think Lightfall was delayed, if I remember correctly. It might have not been. I actually don't remember now. But point is, Lightfall sucked. Strand was good though. Strand was amazing and fun, and woohoo yay, it was nice. But the point is, Lightfall bad. Boo-womp. Nimbus, burn him at the stake. And then after a very, very, very long time, we got Final Shape, and once again, back to a banger. Final Shape was really good. I played the entire campaign with 2 friends, had a wonderful time. Destiny 2 felt like it got a good ending, you know, with the whole like final cutscene with Cade and stuff. That was amazing. That was beautiful, right? That was really good. Getting Nathan Fillion back was great. Ghost decided to have character all of a sudden. Yeah, losing out on Lance Reddick's fucking like peakness was really annoying. I'm not saying Keith David is a bad VA. Keith David is great, but the thing is, Lance Reddick just owned Zavala. I didn't really like Zavala too much as a character, like just alone, but Lance Reddick just, he uplifted. He just made that man. I became a Zavala fan. I was like, hell yeah, no, Zavala's the GOAT. Let's go. And it was mostly because of Lance Reddick, but still. And then obviously Lance Reddick passed away. And I remember even seeing like the fuck. I never saw John Wick before, right? I probably should have made something on like movies I like as well. This is all just video games. But I remember seeing John Wick with a friend like a week ago or whatever. And I remember like actually getting like a little teary eyed seeing Lance Reddick, because I genuinely hadn't like seen a thing of him in so long. I hadn't seen a role of his in a minute. And I was like, god damn it. And seeing like it's actually Lance Reddick himself and it's not just his voice, it's like, oh man. Lance Reddick was so cool. He was awesome. I think it was funny as well that he was a Warlock main. I think that's a little silly, but yeah. I don't know. Lance Reddick was great. Final Shape was good. Blah, yeah. The main reason I kind of put Destiny first is I have a weird relationship with this franchise, and it is the biggest love and hate thing of my life, because on one hand, this is a franchise that has been fucking obliterated and mishandled and hasn't been given the proper care and love it needed. It held amazing potential. It held just what could have been a wildly bright future. And just, it feels like every step of the way we were doing like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And we've taken so many steps back that we've fallen off, and now there's the mass layoffs at Bungie, and there's a lot of the cancellations, and the future of Destiny isn't looking great. And I'm of the opinion that Final Shape should have been the end of Destiny 2. They should have made Final Shape, done some endgame stuff, maybe updated the game a little more after or whatever, but Final Shape should have been the end. But no, they wanted to keep on pushing it. They wanted to keep on writing it because it's their only moneymaker right now, so of course they have to. It's like, we're getting the episodes, and blah, 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 blah. And they were, like, promising all this stuff in the future, like, what's after Final Shape Vidoc. And it sounded cool, you know, like, we're going back to the Dreadnought. Oh, that's neat. We're, like, you know, going to see about, like, the Vex with this season, and then, the Fallen, and the Scorn, and the Hive, and finally getting to Xivu Arath, because they've been really enjoying teasing Xivu Arath. I don't even think we've seen an in-game model yet of her, like, at all. I think all we have is like the artwork from the company. Like, it would have been great if everything worked out. It didn't, because once again, the goodwill was completely gone after Lightfall. It was completely used up. Nobody, apparently, if I remember correctly, Final Shape sold less than Lightfall. If I remember correctly, that's what I was told. Once again, I could be completely talking about my ass, but I genuinely believe it, because it's like, why would you buy another massive $100 DLC, $50, whatever you want to say, after the god-awful dumpster fire that was Lightfall? Like, why would you want to? And it sucks, man, because once again, like I was talking about, love-hate relationship, and I've been hating on this entire time. On the love side, though, this is a game where I have met lifelong friends. Like, I've met friends that I've known for years, and I've done way more stuff with them outside of Destiny. Oh my god, these are people that also got me into another one of my massive interests I'm going to talk later about, but it's like, through the butterfly effect and like chain reaction shit and stuff and yada yada. If I never played Destiny, and I never got into Destiny as a franchise, and I never blah 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 blah, I never would have met a whole lot of people. My life would have been looking way more different. Not even for the better, not for the worst. It's just how it is. But there became a point where it was less like a fun game that you wanted to play, and more of just, oh, my friends that I like are playing this, or oh, I want to, like, the social side of it, because like raiding is amazing. Raiding in Destiny is a completely unique like feeling. There's no other game that has matched the feeling of like Destiny raids, and it's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful experience, laughing and shit, and like having a good time in like Vault of Glass, and like some dumbass gets caught by the Gorgons and everyone throws stones at him, getting pissed at that one friend that's gotten like their third Vex Mythoclast in a row, wiping the team and not fucking saying it was you because bleh. It's like there is so many fun moments in Destiny that I've had. I put a lot of time in Destiny. I'm not gonna say how much, but it was a lot, and it sucks because just it's this beautiful. I think a good way I can word it is it's like this beautiful tree that is like dying and rotting, and you're not really gonna hate the tree. You're not gonna like stand up and start kicking and punching the tree. You're gonna hate the shitty ass gardener who didn't do their job. It's like, you had something good here, and you just didn't handle it properly, and it's so annoying, but it is what it is. I'm not really into Destiny anymore. I'm moving on with my life. I'm doing other shit. Fucking getting into the real world, doing uni, all that stuff, yada yada. Like I'm moving past this. This shit robbed so many years of my life, and I regret nothing. So yeah. Well, that was the first interest. Time to move on to the next one. Yakuza. So, when it comes to Yakuza, I've only recently gotten into it. And I say recently, it was more of like, a year ago, maybe like 2 at most. But, I have never been a guy when it comes to like any of the Yakuza games. Like, I've never been like a fighting. I don't even know what word Yakuza is. Is it like a brawler? I don't even know. Like fighting. It's not a fighting game. Because when you say fighting game, you think like Guilty Gear Strive or some shit. But anyways, when it comes to Yakuza, I've never been into that. I'm not really into the Like a Dragon or Infinite Wealth style either. I'm not good with turn-based combat at all. But it gave the game some of a try. I liked it. And I am just, like, starstruck over everyone in the series. I love Kiryu. He is manly and cool and awesome and baller as shit, and also very funny and silly. And he's like, I don't know, he's cool. And then Majima is also funny and cool and awesome and silly. And then there's his like Zero backstory and shit, where he's actually being serious and stuff. And man, Zero had really good writing. Zero's story was extremely good. One story, like Kiwami, Yakuza 1, was a little goofy. It's a little over the top at times. But it was the birth of the franchise, whatever. Yakuza 2 and Kiwami 2 and stuff. Once again, good sequel. It was neat, cool, whatever. A lot of people hate Kiwami 2. I don't think it's, I don't think it's the like Antichrist. I don't think it's that bad. Whatever. Yakuza 3 is good. It's not perfect, but it's good. It's good. Yakuza 3 is good. I like Mine. Mine was good. The first 3 villains were amazing, right? Like, fucking Nishiki was great. Nishiki was wonderful. The extra backstory with Zero and stuff just made him, like, even more likable and understandable, and it was great. And that dynamic intro at the end of Kiwami 1, holy shit. Ryuji, I adore. I love Ryuji. That's who I want to be like. Him and like Ichiban. I want to be like Ichiban. I want to be friends with everyone. But when it comes to like strength and like being a dumbass and yada yada, but also like still being cool and awesome, I want to be like Ryuji. Ryuji is great. I adore Ryuji. He's cool. And then there's also Kenzan and Ishin and yada yada. I really don't know enough at all about those games to say anything, so I'm not going to say anything. But they're fun. They're silly. I think they work. They're cool. Like, yeah, there's not really anything bad to say about them. And then we get to Yakuza 4. Yakuza 4 was great, okay? You make a game or you're like, you know, you make a series and stuff where the entire time you've just been playing as this one guy, and then your first game with other playable characters, you make 3 more of them? Excuse me? Goddamn, that's crazy. And obviously Kiryo's in there as well, but it's like, oh my god. Like, Akiyama is a fan favorite. Everyone loves Uncle Akiyama. It's silly. I like how in Yakuza 5, he's basically just an uncle, and he and Haruka just run around just doing whack shit. Saijima's great. I also really like Saijima. I like Saijima and Majima's, like, duality and shit. They're fucking awesome when they're together. So, like, once again, Saijima's great. I don't know why they made him bald. I feel like the long hair worked, and it made him a little more unique, since there's not that many, like, male characters in the series with long hair, as far as I know. Or at least none that I can remember off the top of my head. I'm definitely missing someone, but who cares? And then poor Tanamura. Tanamura, I don't know, whatever, bleh. But, it might not even be Tanamura, but I swear it's Tanamura. But, okay, I'm saying his name way too much anyways. Tanamura is great. I didn't really like him at first. I was like, okay, whatever, blue Yakuza, I don't care, whatever, le policeman, I don't care. And then I see more of him, and I'm like, this guy's fucking great. I like him a lot. And then they just never make another game with him, because if I remember correctly, his, like, Japanese actor and shit I mean, there's not really an English actor, but the point is, he did, like, drugs or some shit, or they found him with, like, weed or whatever, I don't know. And if I remember correctly, it's like a big taboo in Japan when it comes to drugs and, like, weed or whatever, yada yada. I remember another story. In the live action JoJo Part 4 movie or TV show or whatever, I'm pretty sure it was a movie. Also, yes, that is the thing. There's a live action JoJo Part 4 thing. Kiryu's, not Kiryu. Kiryu wasn't in fucking JoJo. Jotaro's, no, they're actually very similar. Jotaro and Kiryu, yeah, no, actually, wow, damn, they are very similar. Anyways, Jotaro's actor got caught with weed, I want to say. It might have just been some type of drug, I don't know, whatever. And that man got, like, blacklisted from Japanese Hollywood. Like, that guy got fucking booted. And I think it was kind of the same thing with Tanamura's original actor. You know how there's, like, the short hair one? Or, like, the like, what's a good example? I don't even know. Like, Roderick looking ass fucking Tanamura. He doesn't look like Roderick at all. He doesn't... Oh! Okay, he doesn't look like, Roger... Ugh! He doesn't look like Roderick at all. But anyways, moving on. You know how there's, like, him, and then there's long hair Tanamura? Or, like, not long hair, but, like, one where he has, like, his hair, like, more backwards and shit. Or, like, he has his hair going down. He's showing, like, a little bit of his forehead and stuff. I like that Tanamura more anyways. But the point is, like, they are, like, in Yakuza 4 remastered. They just recast him, changed the voice of that, yada yada. I think they changed the voice, if I remember correctly. They completely changed him. They just scrubbed him from existence, right? His old actor. Because once again, drugs are that big of a taboo in Japan. And they're just, like, not a good thing at all, whatever. Blah, 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 they hated. And because his actor was fucking doing that shit, I think that's the reason Tanamura never showed up again. Because you gotta realize, Akiyama showed up a bunch more. Saijima showed up a bunch more. They're both still prevalent in the series. Tanamura's, like, he hasn't even... We didn't see, like, a new model. Besides, you know, obviously the recast actor. But it's like, we didn't see him at all in, like, Yakuza 5. We didn't see him in 6, 7, 8. Like, we haven't seen him in, like, anything, right? We didn't even get, like, a funny little, like, Zero reference, which would have been cool. Because we also saw, like, Daigo in Yakuza 0, and that was, like, kind of silly. But my point is, like, the tragedy of Yakuza 4 is not... Spoiler. Lamau. It is the fact that Tanamura just never showed up again because the drugs bad lol. Which, I mean, yeah, they are, but I mean, I don't know. It could have still used him. Like, once again, Yakuza 4 remastered and they just recast him. They should have just done that. They should have just recast him, moved on with it, whatever. Granted, though, if that didn't happen, then we would never have gotten Shinada. I really like Shinada, and I think Shinada is actually an opposite case where it would be funny to see him again, but Shinada didn't really serve a purpose. He was kind of just silly and funny and bleh. And I mean, everyone loves Shinada, right? I don't think there's a single person who dislikes Shinada. To me, he is just Ichiban, but baseball, Labao. Like that, like him and Ichiban and Shinada would have a great time with each other. They would have so much fun. Shinada's great. I love him. he doesn't really need to show up again. He's just kind of there. But I mean, you know, once again, he's the like random relative that is at the family gathering for no reason. You don't. There's probably some random ass stranger who just walked in the house, but like he chill as fuck though. Like you vibe with him, so like who cares? Like who gives a shit? Don't know what they were doing with Yakuza 5 Sajima. Once again, bald Lamau and other shit, but whatever. Yakuza 5 in general. I will say this. 3, yeah, say what you want. If you want me to, say what you want. 5 was weird. I don't know. 5 feels like the most pointless game in the series to me. It just did not need to exist. Or at least, I think it could have gone in like any other direction than it did. I don't know. Yakuza 6 is, I think Yakuza 6 was good, I think, because obviously there was a lot of, like, the edges were a little rough, you know, but it made sense, you know. It was like oh, Kiryu's like Yakuza shit kind of coming to a close, or like oh, the whole thing with like family. I think like yeah, making him a granddad, making him a grandpa was like a good idea and shit, right? And him and fucking what's his name? I don't know. I'm just gonna say the baby. Him and the baby was like funny and silly, and there's that one scene where the baby is getting thrown, and it's like it's one of those like Yakuza out of moment things, or out of context things. So like yeah, it's funny. I also really liked oh god what was his name? Not Sohei. That was fucking Dojima's first name. I don't know. Oh, what's his name? What's the guy with no tattoo? Not Iwami. Not Iwami. Iwami sucks. We don't like Iwami. Iwami blows up. Somaya! Oh my god, Takumi Somaya. I don't know if it's Somaya. No, it's like Somaya. I'm gonna say Somaya. Whatever. Fuck you. He's great. He was good. Liked him a lot. He was awesome. Hell yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. Destiny is a wonderful theme. That is a very, very good song. Also, Hi Destiny. And then Yakuza 7, it was like, okay, kind of like a reboot to the series, or at least kind of like a refresh. It's a new start, because like this is also when like they called it Like a Dragon Yakuza, you know, like yeah, it's Yakuza 7, but they got rid of like the numbering and shit. And then Infinite Wealth comes out, and it's literally Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Yakuza is no longer there in the title. Obviously, they still got Kiryu, they still got past characters. It's still very clearly Yakuza 8 and, you know, 7, but they've ditched the Yakuza title, and it's like the focus is now on Ichiban. I know that's not really true, because in Yakuza 8 they give Kiryu a lot of the spotlight as well, but I feel like they gave him a lot of spotlight in 8, actually. Like a lot more than 7, if I remember correctly, but yeah. Anyways, actually, yeah, definitely way more than 7. But anyways, point is, Yakuza's good, I love it, yippee. That's kind of it. Every single character is a role model. Not really. That's not true at all. Most of the main characters are role models. Forget the fact that Kiryu looks up to organized crime and Saejima killed fucking 18 guys. Anyways, Yakuza great. Love Shinada. Give us Shinada Gaiden. Yes. Anyways, moving on. So, you know how I said I moved on to things after Destiny, and Destiny sucks and blah 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 whatever. Warframe, Lamau. So, Warframe has been getting a little bit more of a spotlight, I would like to imagine, recently, or at least I swear it's becoming more popular and talked about and played by a lot of my friends. And granted, that's also probably because I'm a big Destiny guy, so, like, yeah, no shit, they're all gonna, like, start playing the next thing, but I come back around June of this year, and I'm really not interested in it. A friend is asking me to play it. My friend Guardian, hi, his name. Oh shit, I shouldn't be saying his name actually. Never mind. Bleh. So my friend Guardian brings me into it, and at first I'm like, I don't want to play Warframe. Blah 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 whatever. And then I play it, and then I keep on playing it. And then I keep on playing it more, and I play it for like 3 weeks straight. I fall in absolute love with the game. I had never played a game to this degree since like Destiny 2 or Monster Hunter World or yada yada. Warframe is really, really good. I like it a lot. I know there's the immediate turndowns. There's like the early turndowns of like, oh, the crafting like takes a while, like it takes a few hours and yada yada, and oh the gameplay is not whatever, like whatever complaints people got. But just Warframe is just amazing to me. I know it's not flawless, but goddamn, is it really, really fun and really, really cool. I'm a sucker for lots of cool designs and neat things. I'm a big sucker about Pokemon. I definitely could have put Pokemon in this list, and I probably will another time maybe. But I am getting near an hour, so it's like, yeah, whatever. And then sometimes I have voice cracks. It's really fucking annoying. I get myself. I'm like, ooh, don't say that. Anyways, okay, no, I formed my thoughts. So the thing about Warframe is it really showed me, playing it after Destiny, it really showed me how big of a Stockholm Syndrome thing people got going on with Destiny and Bungie, right? Because there's just so many things that Bungie did that were just really annoying, and it was a piece of fucking shit, and they just like, you know, squeezed their players dry of all their money with all the annoying SDLC shit, with like, you know, once again, Lightfall, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, just DLCs that were not quality. Sometimes they made something really good, but they also made a lot of bad. It's alright to admit that. Warframe, they don't have any paid DLC. The only paid stuff they have, if I remember correctly, is just like the stuff that you can only get for money is cosmetic stuff, right? Like the Ember Heirloom pack that's going around right now. We don't talk about that. We're not man whispering Lamau. Like we're not talking about that. But nothing is paid. You can get all of it for completely free. But you might be thinking like, oh, you know, what about like Warframe slots or this, blah, 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 whatever, you know, certain things that do cost plat, or what if I want to get plat? Well, one, don't buy it. Okay, don't buy plat. Why? Because in Warframe, there's these little thing called Void Relics. I love gambling. I really, really like gambling. Warframe also showed me that I actually genuinely have a gambling issue, and it's not a bit. I was gambling in Warframe with the Void Relics for like 5 days straight. I wasn't doing anything else besides Void Relic farming. I really, really like gambling. But the point is, gambling can be good sometimes, kids, because if you get a rare old thing, like if you get something from a vaulted relic, from a random or whatever, you can sell that on the Warframe market and get platinum for it, and you will have more. I have not spent a single dime on Warframe. I have gotten all the stuff I have wanted and needed with plat from trading and just using, like, you know, it's awesome. It's great because the game has its own economy and market, and it has fucking supply and demand. It's crazy. It's really good. Yeah, bleh. In terms of actual gameplay and shit to talk about, there is a lot of stuff to talk about. I could yap about. Let's talk about Grendel. How about that? Okay, I could talk about all the frames in the game. Goss, Zephyr. I'm thinking like the ones I actually really like. Goss, Zephyr, Ember, Frost. I think Rhina's cool. I think people give him shit. He is very, very basic. Like, you can't deny that, but I think Sephiroth is cool. I'm happy with his prime that's coming. That looks really good. Anyways, when it comes to Grendel is my main. Originally, I mained Wukong because I really liked him and he was funny and silly and funny monkey Lamau. He can fly. He can just be straight up invincible and gain armor with the Phi. He has a shadow clone, so you just get like another like thing. His passive is he gets to live 3 times in a row from lethal damage, and he gets buffed with each death. And then there was obviously the funny staff, and Wukong was fun, and I could make him work, and he was good. But the thing is the whole thing was like the staff, right? Like you don't have to use the staff on Wukong, but then it's just a useless ability at that point. You can subsume it, yeah, I know, but like saying like, oh, you can subsume it is the most non-point in the world, because it's like saying, oh, this, like, okay, let's say like, oh, Valkyr is bad. Oh, but you can subsume stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, no shit. You can have like the like shittiest, what's a good analogy? You know, like the shittiest, ugliest, garbage, most like impractical house in the world, and it's like, oh, but if you get like a cleaner, and if you're like, oh, I'll upgrade stuff a little, it's like, well, yeah, no shit. Then I'm turning it to something else. I'm like fixing it. I'm making it like something it's not at that point. I'm like, you know, it's not what it originally was. I could either like, you know, live in my shitty shack and upgrade it, or I could just get a normal ass. I mean, you can't even get a normal ass house because the economy is kind of fucked right now. But I don't even know what you could get. You could live in your car. Like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But anyways, Grendel, let's talk about Grendel. So Grendel is my new main because you can actually use him as a weapons frame more. I mean, that's what he is. He's a weapon guy. His first ability is Eat. You eat the enemy, Lamau, but then they give you armor, and they slowly eat on your stomach, which means, like, if you see this really hard-ass enemy, assuming they're not, like, a mini-boss or, like, an Eximus or yada yada, you can just, like, say no and just fucking like grasp them into like the black hole shadow void that is your stomach, and they're just gone. And now they are just like, you have them now, and you get more armor, and you can then use Nourish, and Nourish is really good. Nourish is extremely good. I have no idea what they were thinking. Nourish is wildly good. With increased strength, I can just like full heal. I can get a lot more viral damage. It can last for like, I have mine that lasts like 32 seconds. That's pretty fucking long. It doesn't cost that much. It doesn't even like kill the enemies outright. It just like slowly, it like drains a bit of their health or shields or armor, yada yada, whatever you swallowed. And then there's his 3. I love Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball is great. I'm not talking about the game itself. I'm talking about the ability. I call it Super Monkey Ball. I have never had more joy with an ability in my life. Goss is fun with his speed and stuff. Volt is fun. Titania is fun. Like, all those forms of movement, those are fun. Even Zephyr is a lot of fun. Holy shit, Super Monkey Ball is amazing. I love it to bits and death and pieces. It's great. Oh my god. Words can't describe how much I love Super Monkey Ball. It's awesome. His 4 is the, like, nuke thing. That thing is insanely good because you just get to strip armor. You just get to completely get rid of armor. I was like, oh yeah, you know, one of the stalker, like, acolytes or whatever spawn. I don't know. Like, you know, the weird guys like Mania and like Hatred or blah, 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 whatever they're fucking named. Like, oh yeah, they got full armor. Press 4. Okay, boom. Now it's all down to health. Take 1,000,000 viral damage, Lamau. Like, he's so good. He's great. The one thing that he kind of can't handle really is shields, but like I use a Kuva Nuke Ore for that shit anyway, so who cares? I just got magnetic on it and stuff. But I can handle everything else. He handles armor with his 4. He handles health with his 2 and like viral and everything, you know. His 1 is toxic, if I remember correctly. Like it's like Grendel is great. I love him. Grendel is super fun. And if there's one thing I could say about Warframe to anyone, it's the best way to get hooked and the best way to have fun is to just find the person you love the most, like find your like play style, and just fall in love with the game. Because once again, originally I did really like Wukong, right? Like high movement, high survivability, a lot of damage, silliness. It was fun, but once again, it was only kind of with the melee. With Grendel, it's like I can have more fun movement with the Super Monkey Ball. I can be a massive... Grendel is a massive tank. Grendel is extremely good when it comes to tanking stuff. And then I can deal with armor, I can deal with health, I can deal with shields and other shit, but he's fun, he's great, I love him. Find your thing, enjoy the game, it's good. Play Warframe. If you are a Destiny player and you hate Destiny right now, play Warframe. Alright, boy. So that is all of my main interests. Like you see the rest of the time in the video. Time to get on to what is probably my biggest hyperfixation and will remain my biggest hyperfixation, Monster Hunter. Now if you see here, you'll see I really like Galsarag. We'll get into that later. It doesn't matter right now. But Monster Hunter is a weird story for me because my technical first interaction with the series was the Monster Hunter Tri demo disc for the Wii. I remember we got it. I remember trying to play it as a kid. I had no idea what was happening. I didn't understand anything at all. Because one thing, I was a dumb Pee-wee brain child. It just did not click with me. And I was like, okay, whatever. This game sucks, Lamau. So I stopped playing Monster Hunter Tri on the demo disc for the Wii. And then I said, alright, well, whatever. And then time passes on, and I go from a wee lad to a wee, like, big lad. And then In 2019, I played Monster Hunter World, and I get to Geototus, and I get bored. And I'm just like, I don't know if I really enjoy this gameplay all that much. I'm kind of, whatever. So I stopped playing it, and I move on. Fast forward 3 years, in early 2022, some of my friends start playing Monster Hunter World, so I'm like, alright, sure, I'll give it another try. Yeah, I have it in my Steam library. I remember buying the deluxe edition and not even playing it that much. I ought to give it another try. Fast forward 3 months, I have beaten the entirety of Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. I have killed Fatalis plenty of times. Fast forward a lot more months, because I also played it just for fun every once in a while. I have 1,000 hours on Monster Hunter World. I know some people are like, oh, I got 30,000. Like, who cares? No one likes you. But that's like the most on my Steam friend list. I know, weird flex, you don't need to hate on me. But I just love Monster Hunter World to death. It is great. It is better than all the old gen games in the series. Fuck you, I'm getting into that later. And yes, I did play them, so don't talk. But I love World. It was great. It was wonderful. Mwah, chef's kiss. Wild is going to be peak. Then after World, I move on to Rise in May of last year. And Rise is the worst game of the series, but people act, once again, people act like it's the second coming, or it's like it's the Antichrist. People like give it the fucking Yakuza Kiwami treatment, Yakuza Kiwami 2 treatment. Monster Hunter Rise is not bad. I don't even think it's that bad of a Monster Hunter game, like actually looking at it. I think it is a good game. Monster Hunter wise, I think it's a little weak, but it's still a good Monster Hunter game. It's enjoyable. It's just got its own different type of enjoyment. It's silly. It's wacky, blah, blah, blah. I will admit, once again, it's my least favorite game in the series, but I still appreciate it for what it was, and I especially appreciate it for what it gave. Cough, cough. Gosrog is the best monster in the series. He is wonderfully designed. He has amazing characteristics. This is actually a flawless creature. Like, Gosrog is actually so fucking... Oh! Dude, Gosrog is so cool. Gosrog is awesome. Oh my god, Gosrog is so great, dude. Look at him. Look at his base model. Okay, I know I put in the plushies as a joke. Look at Gosrog's model. This guy's awesome. This guy is so fucking cool. He has these, like, big ass, like, rock legs and limbs and shit. He's got this cool, like, white fur that goes down to brown. He's got this weird, like, skull mouth design. He's got this weird, like, sunken in eyes. He's got the weird horns going on. He's got the big ice sword on his, like, arm that he grafted. It's like, hell yeah, that's cool as shit. That's baller. Gosrog's great. I love Gosrog. He's awesome. Yes. Anyways, moving on from Rise. After Monster Hunter Rise and World, I looked at Steam and I realized, oh shit, there's no more games in the library besides Monster Hunter Stories 2. I'm not playing that shit. Joke's on you, I actually did later on. It's alright. It's like better Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, play Monster Hunter Stories 2. The writing isn't great, but you don't play these games for the writing. Be real. Like, who cares? After Rise and World, I was like, alright, what should I do next? And I looked into acquiring, I will say that, a way to play old Monster Hunter games on the computer, and I did find a way that was legitimate, and yep, and sure. So, after World and Rise, I played Monster Hunter GU, because my thought process was, okay, I want to get into the old gen of Monster Hunter, I might as well pick the game with the most amount of content, right? Like, GU has a lot of content. GU has a unreasonable amount of content. I remember someone made a video actually where they were saying it has too much content. I kind of agree with that statement. But anyways, played through GU at first, and I was like, damn, old school Monster Hunter sucks, fuck this, whatever. Dropped it for a week, and I was like, wow, nothing scratches the Monster Hunter itch, let me give it another try. And then I proceeded to play that game for, like, the entirety of the summer last year. That was basically all I did. That and some other stuff, obviously. It didn't take me the entire summer to beat GU, but I love GU. It was great. I adored it. Valor Greatsword, it's boring as shit. I don't care. Fuck you. Oh my god, Valstrax is a wonderful fight. Autoka is one of the best fights in the series. I think she gets a little boring and stale after a little while, but that first fight with Autocall is that's special, dude. That's amazing, and especially with Valstrax as well. Oh my god, Valstrax is a wonderful fight. He's amazing. The variants were a little weird. You know, no one's exactly a big fan of Dread Queen Rathian or anything, you know, but Whatever. They were neat. They were cool. Also, the variant of like, oh yeah, Hellblade Glavenus. Like, yeah, dude, that goes hard as shit. And there was obviously a lot of other stuff that was cool as well. But yeah, so anyways, I played GU. That was fun. And then I'm like, all right, what do I do now, Monster Hunter wise? So I look into other stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna try 3 Ultimate because Try and 3 and yada yada are probably the most divisive games in the series, not counting Rise and World technically, but a lot of people like World. A big thing about Try and 3 and yada yada is the main negative connotation around them, or the main negative thing about them that a lot of people like to point out is the underwater combat. The thing is about the underwater combat is, as someone who has actually played underwater combat, and it's not someone talking out of their ass, underwater combat is fine. It's fine. Underwater combat, gameplay-wise, let's talk about that, is fine, okay? It's not bad, it's not great. If it comes back, I'm not excited, but I also am not upset. It's like, it exists. I don't think people need to treat it like it's the worst thing in the world, but they don't need to treat it like it's this black sheep and it's this like diamond in the rough or whatever. Like it is not actually that good, you know. It is not this shining example or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'm just yapping, but underwater combat or whatever. Underwater monsters though. Oh, Ceatus. Or Ceatus. I never know how to say that name. Pim. Lagiacris. Pim. I say Lagiacris. Fuck you. It might be Lagiacris, Lagiacris. I've heard like it 30 times. I don't know. Who cares, dude? It's fictional creatures. Who gives a shit? Dire Morales is funny because in Monster Hunter World, they basically just took Dire Morales, shrunk him down, and sped up his animations, and that's literally the Fatalis fight in World. When I was fighting Dire Morales in Tri Ultimate, I was like, these are the World Fatalis animations, but really slow, and I thought it was funny as hell. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, Dire Morales is literally just like underwater Fatalis, and he's like bigger, and he shoots out volcano rocks, and like that's it. But I mean, Dire Morales is cool. I really want to see him back in Wilds. I'm thinking we will. He's great. He's PM. I love him. Listen, Argakuga was a really good idea. That was a really great idea. Abyssal Lagiacris is also up there in terms of like how hard variants go. Of like, oh my god, that's raw as hell. I mean, yeah, Tri Ultimate's good. Tri Ultimate was good. It was fun. I liked it. Then after Tri Ultimate, I played Frontier with a friend. Frontier was fun. Frontier was weird. It was odd. It was silly. I think the first Elder Dragon, that like one like Soundwave Gravity one or whatever, the orange one, I forget the name of. That was cool. That was funny. I say that was. I'm just saying words. That was a really good fight. I like that fight a lot. Some of the later fights, I'm kind of like, eh. You know, Frontier is Frontier. It's the bullshit, like, here's a one-hit KO attacks the game. But it's fun. I liked it. It was cool. Yeah, Frontier, thumbs up. After Frontier, I tried, what did I try after Frontier? After Frontier, I tried 4 Ultimate. And 4 Ultimate, I understand why people hold it so highly and why they praise it so highly. It is probably the best old-gen game. I want to say it's probably the best old-gen game. I hold a lot of respect for GU and 3U, I'm not gonna lie. I do like 3U a little more than 4U, but I can still acknowledge and I can still see myself that 4U is probably the best old-gen game. It is really good. I liked a lot about it. They had characters for once instead of just Village Man Lamau. I mean, to be fair, they were still called that. It was like, oh, Ace Cadet and Guild Marm, you know. But I mean, they had personality. They were fun. I liked it. It was a neat idea. I liked 4 Ultimate. It was good. Not Dire Morales. Gog Mazios and Dalmadur are just so peak. It's crazy. Wonderful fights. Really good. Seregios kind of took a backseat behind the Magalas, I'm not gonna lie. Because even in 4 Ultimate, you know, his game, they just put Gore Magala on the cover again. It's like, what the hell? Don't get me wrong, Gore Magala and Shigara Magala are amazing. They're also really good. But, I mean, give Seregios some love. He's kind of cool, man. Like, I don't know. Come on. But, yeah. I mean, yeah. Monster Hunter has impacted me a lot. It is probably my favorite series as a whole because it has a lot of aspects that I enjoy. I like collecting, I like gambling, I like cool animal thingies, I like designs, I like cool, like, wild, different, wacky designs, I like melee combat. Monster Hunter is like everything I want in a game. It is amazing, it is wonderful. If you have not yet played Monster Hunter World, I highly recommend it. It is really fun with friends. Also, playing the base... Actually, playing Monster Hunter World with friends is kind of a bitch if you're playing the campaign. But besides that, it's really fun. Oh my god, I didn't even yap about Safi Jiva and, like, War... I could have said a lot more about World. Safi Jiva is an amazing fight. Kolbtaroth is really good. The whole, like, reskinned weapons issue was annoying. I'm a guy that's always, like, gameplay first. Like, I always care about that more, so the whole, like, reissued weapon, or, like, reused weapon design thing is, like, not really that important to me. I can still obviously admit it sucks, and it's annoying, and it's stupid. And I think not giving Xeno'jiva its own unique weapons was the stupidest idea in the world. Because I get it. Nergigante, I also really like him a lot. He's a really good poster, what do they call it? Mascots? Poster child? I don't know. A poster child is like a term, but it's like flagship. He's a wonderful flagship monster, so I get why he got his own designs, and I like his weapon designs a lot. But you're not gonna give the final boss of the base game its own weapon designs. Like, really? That's stupid. It was so dumb. But the DLC was great. Iceborne was wonderful. I love Sharashvada as well. Sharashvada is also one of my favorite monsters. It's like second favorite, I'm actually not gonna lie. Sharashvada is really cool. The collaborations were awesome. The fact they just put Geralt, I think it's Geralt, in Monster Hunter, and it's just his voice and everything. Like, the fact they just put it in was crazy. Leshen is a shit monster though, so who cares? Behemoth was the best monster in base world, and it wasn't even an original monster, which is funny. But yeah, I could keep on yapping, but I don't know. I love Dual Blades as well, and Charge Blade, those are really good. Charge Blade is probably my favorite weapon in the series. It's great. It's not that complicated. It's just the most complicated in the game, you know? Charge Blade is not complicated at all. Okay, I say that, whatever. You get my point. Anyways, yeah, that's definitely it. It has been an hour and 4 minutes. Originally, I was going to make this a thing where I talk to recordings of myself, or recordings of myself talk to me. So, like, I yap, and then I record myself talking to myself, and then I make another recording talking to the recording, talking to myself. So it's like me talking 3 times over. I think I realized I run my mouth way too much for that to be feasible. So, and like intelligible, so bleh, I might save it for another time. But yeah, here's just an hour of me talking, because I felt like it and I'm bored. I start uni in like a week. I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I don't know. I'm chilling. I'm having fun though. I'm actually doing. I say I have nothing to do. I've actually been busy and I've been doing a lot with my life, but. I mean, like, important things-wise, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of chilling and, like, hanging out with friends. So it's like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. You all have... I don't even... Nobody's watching this. Who cares? Anyways, yeah, that's it. Bye-bye!